Hi everyone, Dr. D'Amico here. Hope you're all doing as well as can be expected in these difficult and unusual circumstances. I made this little video to check in with you and let you know about what my plan is for week 10 in our class, History 104, U.S. History since 1877, and to talk to you a little bit about our plan moving forward as well for the rest of the semester. I want to say I'm very disappointed that we won't be having face-to-face classes for the rest of the semester. Teaching is definitely my favorite part of my job, and teaching face-to-face in a classroom is, in my opinion, not something that is easy to replicate in an online environment. I do teach online, and I enjoy teaching online. But I have to say that I don't think anything can really substitute for that experience of coming into a classroom, seeing your, 25 or 30 smiling faces, interacting with you, and really sharing my passion for history with you. But, what can you do, right? Here's my quote here on the screen. The best laid plans of mice and men. The second half of that quote is, often go awry. That's from poet Robert Burns. That's where Steinbeck got the title for his book of Mice and Men, which if you've ever had to read that book, that's a depressing book. But anyway, point being, we can deal, we can adapt. I know you're already doing a great job at dealing and adapting. We'll just do the best we can and make the best of things, and that's all we can do. So, okay, moving on. Here's my slide about moving forward as best we can. I kept my picture here of Mr. Rogers reminding us that sometimes the thing is just to keep on going. Even if you feel like you're not doing very well, just keep on trucking and keep on going. That's what we're going to do too. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't already watched the video I posted earlier about some of the success strategies I use when working from home that I was sharing with you, I really encourage you to check it out. It has my Bitmoji doing all kinds of fun things. Check that out. Secondly, I want to say that I know you've handed in your essays. Great job. Thank you for getting those in. I'm a little slower right now on grading them than I normally would be because I've been working really hard to get all sorts of stuff online and deal with different issues as a department chair. But anyway, so I'm going to grade those essays really soon. Can't wait. Looking forward to them. Also, I want to talk to you about your week 10 homework and what my plan is for the rest of the semester for now, with the understanding that I'm trying to allow myself some flexibility to change the plan sort of depending on how things go. And by the way, I think that's another great success strategy is allow yourself flexibility in your planning. So, okay, so I mentioned the essays to you. We're going to talk about week 10 in just a second here, and then the plan for the rest of the class. So as we move into week 10, I want to sort of remind you chronologically of when we are in our class. So for the first few weeks of our class, we covered U.S. history since 1877, and we really sort of started with Reconstruction and the Gilded Age. We went all the way through the time periods of U.S. imperialism, the Progressive Era, World War I. Then that brought us to the so-called Roaring Twenties, the Great Depression, and World War II. Last week, week 9, you read some material and learned a little bit about the Cold War. This week, week 10, we're starting to study the 1960s, which is, of course, the era of the Vietnam War, civil rights movement, and so on and so forth. And those are the issues you're going to be focusing on this week in week 10. So here I'm showing you our Canvas course page. I want to call your attention to a couple changes I've made. I have added a few items to the very top of the page where it says resources. I want you to see that what I have added here are some information about St. Francis resources which exist to support you, my video, working from home success strategies, and our tentative, flexible schedule for the rest of the semester. So we'll look at that in a minute. Before we look at that, let's look at week 10. So you'll see here, as I scroll down the Canvas course page, I have created modules called Corona Online. I'm sorry, I hope that doesn't seem too flippant. I just was trying to make it really clear what I was doing. So last week was week 9. This week is week 10. So this we're in week 10 now. And if you click on week 10, what you see here, this is the homework assignment for this week. So first off, this homework assignment has several parts, really 3 parts. First off, Corona diaries. Just think for yourself about how things are going. This sort of takes the place of the free writing that we did in our face-to-face classes. So how's it going? How is it being at home, working from home? And a historian question for you. What do you think 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now you're going to remember? So just write whatever comes to mind. Maybe try for half a page, double-spaced, Times New Roman 11-point font. Then we have some key terms. I want you to define and explain the significance of these key terms. You give appropriate dates as well, when appropriate. So here are your key terms for this week. Hopefully last week you started a timeline, so go in and add your key terms to the timeline. You're going to hand this timeline in at the end of the semester. Then I have 11 questions here about Zen chapter 17. So that's your homework for this week. Now I'm back at our course homepage and I'm clicking on Corona Online Schedule weeks 10 through 15 just to show you the current draft version I have of what we'll be doing for the rest of the semester. So I just went over what's due this week. Starting next week, we'll also be adding some discussion board work to the class. You'll have response paper 3 due April 5th. You'll have a little more work. You'll have Easter break. You'll have response paper 4 due April 19th. Response paper 5 due April 26th. And essay 2 due during what would have been, and I guess still is, our finals week, May 5th. So wow, now my head's really big on your screen. Anyway, so that's what the rest of our semester, I believe, should and will look like. I just want to remind you all that I'm here for you as a resource. I want every single person to succeed in this class. Please remember that you do have a 3-day grace period, no questions asked for any and all due dates. And also please remember that the #1 predictor of student success in online learning is the extent that they are engaged with the class, so frequently logging into Canvas and sort of looking at things, doing the work, and the extent to which they're in contact with their instructor. So please remember I'm here for you. I want each of you to succeed. Please take care of yourselves. Stay healthy. Thank you very much. I can't wait to see you all again sometime soon.